So, you're thinking about starting your own streaming platform. Maybe you look at Twitch and see millions of people watching every day. You see creators making money from subscriptions, donations, and ads. And you think, how hard could it really be? Build a website, let creators go live, take a percentage of everything they earn, and watch the money come in. At least, that's how the business looks from the outside. But before you start designing the next Twitch, there's something you should know. Live streaming might be one of the most difficult internet businesses in the world to make profitable, because every minute somebody watches a stream costs you money. You need servers powerful enough to receive thousands of live broadcasts at once. You need to process every broadcast into different resolutions, distribute it around the world with almost no delay, store the recordings, moderate the content, fight copyright claims, pay creators, and attract advertisers. And somehow, you still have to convince viewers not to leave for the platform where all their favorite streamers already are. And that's before you sign a single creator. Twitch has been operating for more than a decade. It's owned by Amazon, one of the largest companies in the world. And yet, Twitch still admitted in 2024 that it wasn't profitable. Then, there's Kick. Kick lets creators keep 95% of their subscription revenue and has reportedly offered contracts worth tens of millions of dollars to some of the biggest streamers online. Which creates a fairly obvious question. If Twitch struggles while keeping a much larger cut, how can Kick survive while keeping only 5%? And more importantly, what would it actually cost you to build and operate a streaming platform of your own? To answer that, we need to break the business down into 4 parts: how you attract creators, how you attract viewers, how the platform makes money, and why becoming successful can sometimes make your costs grow even faster than your revenue. Because a streaming platform isn't simply a website that plays video, it's an infrastructure company, an advertising network, a content moderation operation, and a talent marketplace, all packed inside one extremely expensive business. And each part is fighting against the others. So let's start with the first problem you would face before your platform even goes live. Why would anyone use it? Creators will only join your platform if viewers are already there, but viewers will only arrive if the creators they care about are already streaming. It's the classic chicken and egg problem. A new platform can have better technology, a cleaner design, and more generous payouts, but none of that matters if a viewer opens the homepage and cannot find anyone worth watching. This is why live streaming platforms don't really compete by selling software. They compete by controlling attention. Twitch solved this problem early. It became the default home for gaming live streams, and then expanded into music, sports, political commentary, and the enormous just chatting category. Amazon acquired Twitch in 2014 for roughly $970 million. That acquisition gave Twitch something almost every competitor would envy: financial backing, global infrastructure, and access to Amazon's advertising and Prime ecosystem. But it did not solve the basic economic problem. Twitch mainly earns money in 3 ways: subscriptions, advertising, and virtual goods known as bits. A viewer can pay for a monthly channel subscription. The creator receives a share, while Twitch keeps the rest. The exact price depends on the viewer's country and device, but a Tier 1 subscription currently costs $5.99 on the US website. For most creators, the standard revenue share begins at around 50%. Creators who meet Twitch's Plus program requirements can qualify for 60 or 70%. That means a $6 payment from a viewer. Is not $6 of revenue that Twitch can freely spend. A large portion belongs to the creator. Then payment processing costs, taxes, refunds, regional pricing, and other adjustments reduce what remains. Bits work differently. Viewers buy a virtual currency from Twitch and use it to cheer in a creator's chat. The creator receives 1 cent for each bit used, while Twitch earns money from the markup charged when the viewer originally purchases them. Then, there are ads. In theory, advertising should be Twitch's most scalable source of revenue. A subscription depends on a small percentage of loyal fans choosing to pay. Ads can be shown to the much larger audience watching for free, but live streaming ads are difficult. On a normal video platform, an advertisement can be inserted before a polished 10-minute video. The platform understands the subject of the video. It knows exactly how long it lasts, and it can decide the best moment to place the ad. A live stream might continue for 8 hours, and during those 8 hours, anything could happen. The creator might be playing a game, reacting to a video, arguing with chat, leaving the room, or saying something a major advertiser doesn't want its brand appearing beside. That makes live streaming advertising less predictable and potentially less valuable. The platform can solve part of this by running more ads, but every additional ad makes the viewing experience worse. Viewers leave, creators complain that their momentum is being interrupted, and the platform risks damaging the community that produced the audience in the first place. So, Twitch faces a three-way conflict. It needs to keep enough subscription revenue to pay its bills. It needs to give creators enough money to stop them from leaving. And it needs to show enough advertising to make free viewers valuable. Without pushing those viewers away, improving one side can easily weaken another. And then we get to the part most viewers never see: the cost of delivering live video. When somebody uploads a normal YouTube video, the platform processes that file and can then distribute copies of the finished video again and again. A live platform has to receive the creator's video while it's happening, process it almost instantly, create several versions for different internet speeds and screen sizes, and distribute those versions to viewers around the world with as little delay as possible. Every additional viewer creates more bandwidth usage. Every hour watched keeps that meter running. A stream watched by 10 people is cheap. A stream watched by 100,000 people is not. And unlike a viral article or image, live video is a continuous flow of heavy data. Then add the other costs. Twitch needs engineers to keep the service stable, recommendation systems to help viewers find channels, storage for clips and past broadcasts, fraud detection, payment systems, advertising sales teams, customer support, copyright enforcement, and moderation across thousands of live channels. Moderating live content is especially expensive because the platform cannot simply review everything before it's published. It has to identify dangerous or illegal content while it is already being broadcast. The infrastructure bill can even change drastically by country. Twitch shut down its service in South Korea in 2024, after saying that its network costs there were approximately 10 times higher than in most other markets. That's what makes live streaming different from many other social platforms. Success itself creates a bigger bill. More creators mean more content to process and moderate. More viewers mean more video to deliver. More countries mean more regulations, payment methods, network agreements, and support requirements. And yet, most viewers still expect the product to be free. This helps explain why Twitch's position is so strange. Twitch became culturally important. It created major internet celebrities, built enormous communities, and became nearly synonymous with live streaming. But cultural importance does not automatically create high margins. Amazon has never provided a complete standalone income statement for Twitch, but Twitch's own leadership has acknowledged the pressure. The company cut hundreds of employees in 2023, and around 500 more in early 2024. At the time, CEO Dan Clancy said the company had been built for a larger future business than the one that actually existed. He also confirmed that Twitch was not profitable at that point. Think about what that means. This is not a tiny startup trying to reach scale. Twitch already has the brand, the creators, the viewers, and Amazon behind it. If that company still struggles to make the model work, then entering this market should be almost impossible. And then, Kick arrived. Kick launched in 2022 and offered creators the number that instantly separated it from Twitch, a 95-5 subscription split. A Kick creator keeps 95%. Kick keeps 5. If a viewer pays approximately $5 for a subscription, the platform's share is roughly 25 cents. That is an incredible offer for a creator. It is also a terrible amount of revenue for a platform carrying the cost of delivering the stream. Imagine a major Kick streamer has 50,000 paying subscribers. At approximately 25 cents per subscription, Kick would retain around $12,500 a month. That is about $150,000 a year, before considering payment expenses and the rest of the company's costs. Now, compare that with the deal Kick reportedly gave XQC in 2023, $70 million guaranteed over 2 years, with incentives that could bring the total value to $100 million, even if our subscriber example continued for years. Subscriptions alone would not come remotely close to paying back a contract like that, but that does not mean the deal made no business sense. It means Kick was not buying subscription profit, it was buying supply. In a two-sided marketplace, the hardest thing to acquire is not always the customer. Sometimes it is the seller, the driver, the host, or, in this case, the creator who gives customers a reason to arrive. Uber subsidized rides and drivers. Food delivery apps subsidized restaurants and orders. Streaming platforms subsidize talent. When Kick signs a creator like XQC, it receives more than his direct subscription revenue. It gains attention, credibility, media coverage, registered accounts, watch time, and proof to other creators that the platform is real. A creator deal can therefore behave more like a marketing campaign than a normal employment contract. The question is not, how many subscriptions will this one streamer sell? The real question is, how much faster can this person help us build a network? That is the logic behind Kick's strategy. But Kick has another advantage that makes its aggressive spending easier to understand. Kick exists within the same broader business ecosystem as Stake, the online gambling company associated with Kick's founders, Ed Craven and Bijan Tehrani. The exact movement of money between the businesses is not publicly visible, and Craven has rejected the idea that Kick exists simply to promote Stake. Still, the relationship matters. Stake is a large gambling business. Kick is a young streaming platform trying to acquire market share. Shared ownership and a wider entertainment ecosystem can give Kick access to financial patience that an independent startup would not have. This is an important distinction. Kick does not necessarily need every stream to be profitable today. If the platform creates value elsewhere, strengthens the wider brand, or grows into an advertising business later, that is why the 95-5 split should not be viewed as the final business model. It is better understood as a customer acquisition subsidy. Kick is effectively telling creators, bring your audience here, and we will take almost nothing while the platform is still growing. That can work during the expansion phase. The difficult part comes later. Eventually, every subsidized marketplace faces the same question. What happens when the subsidy has to stop? Kick says advertising can become a path to profitability, but to build a serious advertising business, it needs brand-safe content, reliable measurement, a large sales operation, and enough advertiser demand to fill billions of minutes of watch time. It also has to maintain the creator-friendly identity that helped it grow, raise the platform's cut too aggressively, and creators may feel betrayed, run too many ads, and viewers may leave, tighten moderation too far, and Kick risks losing the creators who preferred its looser culture. Keep moderation too loose, and major advertisers may stay away. This is the same conflict Twitch faces, except Kick has promised creators even better economics, which gives it less room to maneuver. And this reveals the fundamental problem with running a live streaming platform. The creators hold the audience relationship, but the platform carries the infrastructure bill. A viewer might say, I watch Twitch, but usually they are really there to watch one particular person. If that person moves platforms and the audience follows, the platform can lose the value it spent years building. That gives major creators enormous leverage. The platform needs creators. More than creators need any single piece of streaming software. A creator with a loyal audience can earn through sponsorships, merchandise, donations, memberships. YouTube videos, podcasts, and brand deals. The live platform is only one layer of the creator's business. For the platform, however, losing several major creators can weaken the entire network. Fewer major channels mean fewer viewers. Fewer viewers make the platform less attractive to advertisers and smaller creators. That can start a negative cycle, and this is why platforms pay huge guarantees, even when the direct revenue does not justify them. They are protecting or acquiring the network itself. The winner in live streaming will therefore not necessarily be the company with the best subscription split. It will be the company that can combine four things better than anyone else: low infrastructure costs, strong creator relationships, effective discovery, and high-value advertising. Twitch has the deepest live streaming culture and Amazon's resources. Kick has aggressive creator economics and the willingness to subsidize growth. YouTube has an enormous advertising machine, global video infrastructure, and a system that allows live streams to become searchable videos and clips after the broadcast ends. Each platform has one part of the puzzle. None has completely solved it. And that is why the economics of live streaming look so strange from the outside. Twitch can keep a much larger percentage of subscription revenue and still struggle with profitability. Kick can give creators 95% and spend tens of millions attracting talent because it is prioritizing network growth over short-term platform revenue, and the biggest streamers can earn more outside the platform than they earn from the platform itself. The business is not really about charging people to watch video. It is about building a network where creators attract viewers, viewers attract advertisers, and advertisers eventually pay enough to cover the cost of keeping the entire system running. Until that final step works, someone has to fund the gap. For Twitch, that has been Amazon's patience. For Kick, it has been financially powerful owners willing to invest in growth, but patience is not profit, and subsidies are not permanent. At some point, every streaming platform has to prove that the audience is worth more than it costs to serve. And that is the real economics of running a live streaming platform. It is not a content business with a server attached. It is an infrastructure business, an advertising business, and a talent marketplace trapped inside one product. The companies that forget that can attract millions of users and still lose money, and the companies that understand it still have to answer the hardest question of all. How do you make creators, viewers, advertisers, and the platform itself all feel like they are getting the best deal at the same time? So far, nobody has found a perfect answer. Subscribe for more breakdowns of what it actually costs to own and operate the businesses we interact with every day, because behind every business that looks simple from the outside, there is an economic machine most people never see.